Growing up, every time that I found myself questioning my path through school and the difficulties that come along with learning more about the world and myself, my mom would always tell me that everything worth doing is not easy, and the challenge makes all that you gain at the end of it so much more meaningful and worth it. What my mom used to tell me goes perfectly along with our topic. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Going through hard times is worth it, if because you gain so much when you persevere through hard times in life. Although hard times challenge us throughout our lives, ultimately the reward of making it through is a reward worth striving for. The first story that I will be focusing on is the Disney movie Nemo. Throughout this story, a concerned father embarks on a journey to find and save his son. Marlin learns that by exposing himself to the world that he feared so much and going through some really terrifying times, that there was so much good to be reaped from it as well. Ultimately, Marlin ends up with new friends and a stronger relationship with his son than ever before. The second story that I will be referencing is the book Wild, in which the protagonist puts herself through hiking one of the most grueling hikes in all of America. From challenging herself not only physically but also emotionally, she learns so much about herself and the life that she wants for herself in the future. The last story that I'll be touching on is Jane, a documentary about Jane Goodall, one of the first ever people to study the chimpanzees of Africa, up close and personal. Jane spends weeks in a remote jungle waiting for the chimpanzees to accept her and trust her enough to let her study them intimately. If not for the struggle to get into the good graces of the chimpanzees, her work would not have been so special, unique, and rewarding. In conclusion, the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet is a phrase that really explains how important it is for us to learn from the hard times we go through, because the personal growth that we gain from it will always be worth it in the end. Just as Marlin, Jane, and Cheryl learn in their own stories, I hope to never stop growing from the challenges that I experience, as life presents us with so many chances to evolve. Ultimately, I have learned from my mother, my favorite books and movies, to be patient when life feels hard, because it is a learning experience and will be worth it in the end. Thank you.